The Chiefs secured a playoff berth for the 10th consecutive year on Friday, and now following a few extra days off, they'll take on the Chargers on Sunday Night Football, and if they win this game, they'll lock up a 9th consecutive division title. Travis Kelce set another personal milestone on Friday, passing Steve Smith for the 4th most yards after the catch of any player since 1992. He also remains tied with Tony Gonzalez with 76 receiving touchdowns. Those are the most for any player in franchise history, and with one more touchdown catch, he'll pass Gonzalez and take over sole possession of the franchise record. Now, hopefully Kelce's in the end zone numerous times on Sunday, and if he is, that's good news for a Chiefs offense that struggled in terms of red zone touchdown efficiency over the last several weeks. In their last 4 games, the Chiefs are just 7 of 17 in terms of scoring touchdowns in the red zone. And keep in mind, they were 3 for 3 against Buffalo a couple weeks ago, so throw that game out. The other 3 games in this most recent 4-game stretch, they're just 4 of 14 in terms of red zone touchdown efficiency. That's why these games have been close, because they're leaving more than 14 points on the board per game in that time. So I really do believe if they can start converting these red zone trips into touchdowns, the offense will look much better statistically, and they're moving the football. They wouldn't have all these red zone drives if they weren't moving the ball. It's just a matter of finishing in the red zone. And I have confidence they can do that because just a few weeks ago, from week 7 through 9 in the games against the 49ers, the Raiders, and the Buccaneers, they were 11 of 13 in terms of red zone touchdown efficiency. So for the Chiefs right now, going into the home stretch, it's just a matter of capturing that success once again. It won't be easy against the Chargers, though, because they own the #1 scoring defense in the NFL right now, allowing less than 16 points per game on average. And what's interesting is they're actually kind of in the middle of the pack of most defensive categories, but they've been really good in 2 key areas. Red zone defense, where they're 3rd best in the NFL, and 3rd down defense, where they're 2nd best in the league. They're also generating a ton of pressure defensively. They lead the NFL in sacks and quarterback hits since week 8, and individually, edge rusher Tuli Tuipulotu has 7 sacks since week 8, most of any player in the NFL. They're taking the ball away as well. There's 17 takeaways, ranked 10th in the NFL, and just last week, they turned Atlanta over 4 times. That's why they beat the Falcons despite only generating 187 yards of offense themselves. And speaking of turnovers, the Chargers don't turn the ball over offensively. They have just 6 giveaways this season, fewest of any team in the NFL, and quarterback Justin Herbert has just 1 interception all year long that he threw way back in week 2. Hopefully the Chiefs can change that here in this game on Sunday night. Now, for what it's worth, these guys are a little bit banged up right now at some key spots. They're not going to have running back J.K. Dobbins in this game, and that's a big deal because the Chargers run the ball 47% of the time. That's the 9th highest rate of any team in the league. And when he's on the field, they average 4.8 yards per carry. When he's not on the field, they average just 3.2 yards per carry. And last week, in their first game without Dobbins, they ran the ball a season low 17 times and didn't score an offensive touchdown. The other part of this is wide receiver McConkey, whose status is up in the air for Sunday due to shoulder and knee injuries. McConkey has at least 6 receptions for 80 or more yards in 3 straight games. 80% of Justin Herbert's passing yards last week went to McConkey, and looking at the Chargers' receiving numbers overall, McConkey has over twice as many receiving yards as the next closest guy. Together, Dobbins and McConkey have accounted for 43% of the Chargers' offensive yards this season, so not having Dobbins and McConkey's status being up in the air is a big deal. So it's always a great game when the Chiefs and Chargers get together. Really, over the last several years, some of the Chiefs' best regular season games have been against the LA Chargers. And now with a 9th consecutive AFC West title right there for the taking, the Chiefs and Chargers will clash once again on Sunday Night Football.